Well, obviously, excited about the win. The weather stayed away just long enough, and we were able to execute there. And proud of our defense. Our defense got put in some situations, responded constantly throughout the game, and did much better in some of the tackling. We still need to improve in some things, but offensively, we came out fast, and we kind of stalled again in the second half. And so we got to find ways and get out of our own way at times. But overall, when we needed it the most, our offense marched down the field and ate up. I don't know how much clock, but that was a huge drive to kind of seal it and put it away. And this team's been through a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I'm just proud of their effort and their commitment to continue to go out and play as hard as they'd play, because that just doesn't happen. That's a commitment to people. And our guys were locked in. Good week of prep, challenged the defense to play better than their defense, and I was proud of the way we played.
An interception. I mean,
you know what? I don't kind of get caught up in some of those things until the media brings them up. We haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to catch the ball. At times they come in waves. At times they get thrown to you, and that one was a tip ball. So, yeah, it's been a while since it's been 7-8 games in, and you get one. But that was a critical one. Kind of killed momentum a little bit, and we were able to keep things moving.
We talked about, I think it was earlier in the season, that it's not necessarily always the interceptions and the fumbles; it's the turnover on downs. You guys hold them 1 for 5 on fourth down, which essentially is the same as turning them over. Just what about the defense on fourth down? Were you guys able to kind of do to contain what they were trying to do in picking up yardage, but obviously shutting that down, getting the ball back to the offense? Yeah,
I thought for the most part, the rotation of our D-line really hasn't stopped. It's just different people in there and kind of owning the moment. For the most part, we were able to stop the run entirely. We got to set some edges on some of those, even the one that we felt like he was down, or the one they reviewed with his knee down. We thought we should have had that one too. But overall, just playing team defense, being aware of the situation, and just growing constantly. Big portion of the group's been with me, so they kind of understand it. But at the same time, so I'm proud of our D-line, the way they've battled, especially with the injuries that have come about. So we're going to keep getting better. And honestly, when you win games, when you have injuries, it's kind of a blessing, because those guys are getting reps, and a lot of reps, and growing and learning, but that maybe they don't get that opportunity because the guy ahead of them's healthy. So you just got to look at things differently, and I'm excited that we were able to get this one the way we did. That's a really good football team, and Coach Kendall has done a really good job over years. And I don't know who put out the stat, but statistically, as far as wins long-term, there was only a couple schools with him. So he's a great coach, and he had his team ready to play. We just came out and we were physical today.
You mentioned the injuries you guys have on the defensive line. I guess in that group, who were you most impressed by today, and how did you guys get that done up front?
Really the whole group, because we were swapping in and out. Bryson Lamb has been an anchor. Buda Paletti and Malaki have been huge. Adding those two guys at the springtime, Malaki and Buda, what a blessing to be around kids like that work extremely hard, that are selfless and are really about the team, and came looking for an opportunity to grow and develop so that they can have a shot at the NFL. And I think that they found a real culture and a commitment to have success, and I'm proud of them on what they've done for us.
Zevi, 3 total touchdowns, 2 interceptions. What'd you make of his game overall tonight?
Yeah, I thought I'll have to go back and watch the second one. We were supposed to be throwing hot off that side. He kind of just missed the read, and but the first one, we got to block the guy. By the time he turns around, the guy just moves our guard and is in the backfield immediately. Overall, though, he's got the savviness, and he's got the maturity to lead when he doesn't always do the right thing from a series to the next series. He kind of can reset himself, refocus, and live in the moment. And his legs are a big part of, allowing us to have success, not just in the pass game when things break down, but in the run game and utilizing him as such.
Coach, how pleased were you with cleaning up the penalties and then Zevi getting them twice on a hard count on conversion downs?
Yeah, I would say that was one of the biggest plays of the game. because we were gonna, quick kick it away. But to get that and to get that free down, changed the course of the game when we scored not too long after that. So that and just proud of our consistency through the game. Challenged them at half. We got to finish. We've been here the last 2 weeks as far as having success in games, but we can't just kill ourselves. And it felt a little bit of that coming out. And then the defense was able to hold strong and really assure that didn't happen. But that was a 60-minute game. I don't know how you guys feel, but when you've had the last two very similar, it's almost like you can never let your foot off the gas. So I'm sweating until the end.
And seeing Carter get in the end zone for the first time, I mean, that's a difficult ball. It got messed around with the wind and everything, but to see him, tip in, come down with it, what can you say about his growth and maybe that play?
Is that Carter's first touch? That's not Carter's first touchdown. No way. Is it? We just see him catch a lot of them at practice. It was an impressive touchdown catch. Are we sure on that? Okay. Yeah, he's a good player, and he's really confident, and that's what makes him special.
All 4 of your wins, you've held teams to 13 or fewer points. 2 of those wins, less than 10 points, single digits. What is the common through line in those games of what makes your defense play so well, keep that few points on the board?
I think it's the same thing that makes all great defenses great. Communication, alignment, keeping your leverage, making sure you tackle. It's not just communication pre-snap. It's through the snap, and it's everybody playing together and rallying to the ball and being extremely physical and taking the right angle on tackles and trusting their teammates. And when you can illustrate a picture, which I believe our defense staff, Coach Bobbitt, do an unbelievable job of creating like a culture on the side where they're not just playing for themselves and they're playing together and for each other. I think there's a recipe for success in that, and our guys, Bobbitt's done a really good job with our defense.
You had mentioned that last drive, you guys go 65 yards in 12 plays, you eat 6.5 minutes off the clock, and you did it almost exclusively on the ground. When you have a game where you maybe struggle at times to run the football, but then you're able to put together a drive like that where you're able to chunk off so many positive runs in a row, is there anything that changes from drive to drive that leads to that success on the last drive?
No. The whole world knew it was run. That's why we threw one of those. When they stacked the box, it was just man-to-man on the outside. We felt like we can rub and, at the very least, get a penalty, and that's what kind of would happen. But it's hard to run the ball versus a loaded box. That's why you see more RPO than ever. But that was a situation where, like I said early in the season, you have to be able to run the ball when the whole world knows you're going to run the ball. And if we can inch forward to that and continue to win like how we did in the first half, have some success coming out. I really pride ourselves in trying to win the middle eight. Win middle eight means coming out at half and putting up some form of points. And I don't know how many games that we've done that in, but we've done really good in the middle eight throughout the year, at least going into half. We just got to come out better and put together and sustain drives to have success. Going into half, I was kind of disappointed in that situation because some of those guys that made that error, they should know better. But overall, really, really proud of the 7 wins versus a really good offense and competing against a really great defense, because that is a good defense.
Yeah, touching on the run game, can you kind of talk about the improvement you've seen from your running backs and Zevi running the ball on the ground throughout the season?
I think it ties together. The more shot plays that you have, you kind of loosen the defense. But overall, the technique has gotten better. We probably missed some there today. I know we did. You always do. It's just taking ownership and trying to grow daily. Our running backs run hard, and they run behind their pads. And when we needed the hard yards, it was kind of Kirby and Leo getting those. But proud of Zevi and what he's been able to do with his legs when he's given the opportunity.
Reaction to Tony Freeman's grab, and he seemed to find success all season.
I was wondering why he jumped so early, but he was like hovering. Huge play in the game. Huge play in the game. It was a great throw by Zevi. Honestly, Zevi got us out of certain situations there going in and made some critical plays himself. He pulled that one and was trying to pump pump the defender off because they were locked up in man, and that's a hard spot to be in as a defense. So was able to make a play there towards the goal line to put 7 on the board, and proud of his efforts.
What did you make of your team's focus and maturity this week after a pair of tough weeks?
For the most part, our guys have really stayed focused on improving and kind of forgetting what happened the week prior. I mean, I think we were a dog in this one again, but it doesn't really change our guys' focus or belief in what we're doing, and I think that's a makeup of a solid team. But we got still 4 games to go, and it's going to be one at a time. And we'll reset ourselves versus, a conference opponent next week in Oregon State. So it'll be a tough one, and we got to get healthy. That may be the biggest concern more than anything is just the amount of injuries that we've had that are not just bumps and bruises, but could be long-term injuries.
Heck of a game for Parker McKenna, getting him 10 tackles, TFL, the interception. That was his first of the season. And what did you see out of his performance in his game and his improvement too?
Parker's really focused individually, wants to do right. At times, it was just trying to get him to relax. I think the last staff maybe struggled getting him to relax a little bit and just allowing him to play. There's a little bit more freedom and flex in this defense to know your job, and it's not everything so precise. It's done through communication and understanding of what you're expecting in the scheme that you're going against. And he keeps growing, and he's always been a good tackler. He's probably the most physical player on our team. Week in and week out, he just keeps flying to the ball and making plays. And even when he has the wrong fit at times, his physicality will make him right. So proud of him and how he's grown.
5 days away from Pullman, coming back here. I mean, how'd that just feel to be able to see the home crowd again, get the loudness at the stadium back in?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I apologize for not doing this off the jump. Those fans that stayed in that weather and wanted to see us and cheered us on and sang the fight song with us, we appreciate it because that is the difference. I mean, we got recruits here on campus, and they want to play in front of a live atmosphere with fans that are crazy that stay no matter what. So we got to do our job to prep and put together a product on the field that people want to stay and support. But we need the fans and the boosters and everything more than ever. We're about to walk into a different conference in a year, and we need to hit the ground running with a fan base that's really rowdy and supports their football team.